What's happening, YouTube? Server on 212 is back, but now with Pokemon Showdown this time. I promised earlier that I would do a deck profile, and guess what? I'm doing a deck profile. And this deck profile is by far my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh deck of all time. I love the archetype ever since it came out. Everything just looks cool in it. But I will be profiling for you guys today Galaxies. And boy, is this deck so fun to play. So let's jump right into the deck profile, shall we? First off, we're running two Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragons. As I found through playtesting this deck, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon happened to be like the most common dead draw, and I really don't need him at 3. 2 is a good number for me because I'm able to get both of them into the graveyard, which is where he's most useful at, for the most part, because we have Galaxy Zero to bring him back, as well as Galaxy Knight. The next up, as I said, we have Galaxy Knight. He's here for the standard Galaxy OTK combo, which generally consists of dropping the Prime Photon Dragon and Pallades on the field. And that's a 3-card combo. It requires Galaxy Knight, or my bad, Galaxy Soldier, Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and then either another Galaxy Soldier, a Solar Windjammer, or an Instant Fusion to pull off. Or if you have a Soldier in the graveyard, Galaxy Zero, or Galaxy Expedition. It's a really easy combo to pull off. It's pretty common to do. The next we have one Swordsman Revealing Light. He's useful for getting over Thunder King, which this deck freaking hates, because our only really normal summoning monster is Danko Zeka, and she's not strong enough to beat over him. So Swordsman Revealing Light is there to come in clutch sometimes to just make him swing into us. Oh, Swordsman Revealing Light, now you're dead. Next we have the Heart, the Soul, the Blood, the powerhouse of the deck, Galaxy Soldier. He's what makes this deck absolutely retarded. He special summons himself as discarding a light monster, primarily the Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon, and then he searches a free Galaxy card for you, which will either search another soldier or a wizard. Next we have triple Solar Windjammer. I decided to run 3 Solar Windjammer because this is a very important combo piece, and that worst case scenario, if it's in your hand, is discard fodder for Galaxy Soldier. But this is a really good combo piece for both combos this deck has, because this deck OTKs in every way possible. We can Synchro OTK, XYZ OTK, or we can Synchro so hard that we make XYZs to OTK you. It's just beautiful when it goes off. And Solar Windjammer works perfectly for both sides of the OTK, so I run him at 3. Next we have 2 Danko Seka for back row hate. This deck, it is an OTK deck, so we don't like back row, but surprisingly, because how many combos this deck has, we can take a couple back row hits and still continue our OTK combo like nothing even happened. I've actually done that on a few occasions. Next we have Triple Galaxy Wizard. We need to run him at 3 so we can search out our Soldier or our Dragon depending on what we have in our hand. And also, if you have Galaxy Wizard and Galaxy Expedition in hand, you can make a quick rank 8 if you need to. Or if you have this and Emergency Teleport, you can make a quick Starter. So he's useful. Next we have probably out of left park, the 2 Karakuri Strategists. Now, before you click away from this video, hear me out. Karakuris and Galaxies work surprisingly well together. Even, I know most of the time you don't want to draw this thing, but even if you do draw it, it can be very useful. Like, against Monarchs, if I'm playing against the new Monarch deck, this is a godsend to draw. If I draw this card, I'm happy, because number one, I can change the defense position and beat over him with Danko Seka, or I could do another combo that I will talk about later in the video, where I bring out a Galaxy Photon Dragon with Expedition, then use him to turn it to attack position. He's really good. Even unless I draw both of them, even if I draw him, the hand is not dead. It's sometimes a good thing. Next we have 2 Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit. She is our emergency teleport target, and my god, she is an amazing hand trap. So good. I honestly feel she's better than Effect Veiler, because a lot of Pokemon require themselves to be on the field for their effects to be of any threat to you, and when you just straight up pop it, it's amazing. Also, solid 1800 defense, you can sit behind it sometimes, but however, you will never really do that. Next we have Galaxy Eyes Cloud Dragon. This card is here for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is I can summon it and bring back out a dead Galaxy to overlay for Fat Dragon, or Full Armor Photon Dragon, if you want to call it that, which is useful for a late game play, so it makes it a good top deck. Also, I can use it to get off 2 power swings with Galaxy Prime Photon Dragon, and I can attach it to it as XYZ material so I can get off another big hit on my opponent's life points, which is useful. Next, we run triple Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is here because this is beautiful. One, it works with the Karakuri engine, and it works with the Galaxy engine, just like Solar Windjammer, so why not run it at 3? And even if I draw into 2 of them, I drew a card of 6 spell cards before, and I still OTK with it like it was nothing. That's how good this deck is. Even drawing all spell cards is never really that bad of a thing. Next, we have one Regeki. Board clearing is always a good thing to have. We have 2 Excel Lights. Now, this card is it could have been so much better. If you could still normal summon after you activate Excel Light, this deck would easily be tier 1.5, tier 1 even, because you can search out your OTK combo piece and then just outright just blow through your opponent like it's nothing. And because you actually had time to search and normal summon, you have so many combos you can do, it's ridiculous. But we can't normal summon with it, so usually, for the most part, it holds us back a turn unless you have a specific OTK combo that doesn't require normal summon, which the deck has quite a few of. Next, we have Soul Charge for bringing stuff back and resetting up your board if it gets destroyed, which is kind of difficult. You kind of think of this deck as Drangunities almost. So it's kind of difficult to destroy the boards, because normally if I'm just setting up for defense, I'll sit behind a Felgrand and a Pallades, or a Felgrand and a Stardust Dragon, which is pretty difficult to get over. And next, we have the 3 Galaxy Expedition. This card is an amazing combo piece. It's fuel for the Galaxy, the standard Galaxy combo with Pallades and Prime Dragon, the standard OTK combo, and it's fuel for the Karakuri combo as well, and it allows you to get another soldier straight from the deck, which is beautiful. Next, we run triple upstarts, because this is a combo deck. And triple upstarts, now it may seem weird running upstarts in an OTK deck, but the upstart goblins do not matter. I slapped so much damage on the board. I OTK through triple upstarts, a Bills. What else did he have? He had a Bills, right under the Light Sworn, and then the C101 ranked up version. He had all that in the field, and I still OTK through him with triple upstart on the board. Like, we put on so much damage, it's retarded. And also, when we're getting ready to OTK, a lot of times we will remove a monster or 2 from the field. Upstart is good in this deck. It's fine. Triple MST, because once again, screw back row. I don't want to run into anything stupid. Primarily Storming Mirror Force, because if I'm going for an OTK, I'm setting up some type of defense. I'm either making Zen Meister and popping your back row, bouncing the back row with Pallades, or making Stardust Dragon to protect myself from Mirror Force. So yeah, this is just here for extra protection for destroying stupid stuff. It's primarily Storming Mirror Force, like I said. Next, we have 3 Emergency Teleports. You want to run this card at 3 because this gives you access to the wicked I'm going to absolutely destroy you combos. Like, this is one of the best cards to run in this deck. Emergency Teleport is amazing. Run it at 3. If you want to, you can drop a Totally One Gemma for another Yuki, but I'm trying to make it like not cost $1 billion. So I'm only running 2 for the current moment, but either way, it works fine both ways. It doesn't really matter. And then finally, we have 1 Galaxy Zero. This card is very cloggy at any more than 1, and seeing it at 1 is perfect because it helps you extend your Karakuri combos, because you can revive your Galaxy Soldier from the graveyard for more synchro material, or you can revive them for another for a rank 5 play. So, or you can also revive your dragons and stuff, dragons and knights as well. It's useful for those 2. So you're only reviving Galaxy Soldier, Dragon, and occasionally Knight with this card, but it's useful for that reason. So we run it at 1, and also we can search it out with Wizard if we need to, because Wizard searches any Galaxy card. Now on to the extra deck. I'm running 2 Panzer Dragons for the instant fusion. You're never going to bust out 3 Panzer Dragons with instant fusion, even if you go the grind game. I remember I played against Raid Raptors, and after it went to like turn 30, I still had plenty of cards in my hand, and I just kept on negating everything with Felgrand and Pallades. I kept on continuously building up my advantage to lock him out, because I really couldn't OTK him because he had the Raid Raptor trap card that everybody hates. But yes, this deck can go for the grind game if it needs to sometimes, which is pretty good. Next, we have our Star Eater. This is easy to make because when you do the Karakuri play, he brings out another monster, and if you have no other plays after that, you can just make a quick Star Eater. And that's a 2-card combo. It's just like this card plus this card, this card plus this card, instant fusion plus Yuki, instant fusion plus this. It's so easy to make a Star Eater in this deck. You just kind of throw it out there just because you can. Then next we have 1 Scarlight, the Red Dragon Archfiend. Just for the times where you can't exactly get all the OTK damage you need. You can kind of just bust this thing out real quick and just like blow everything off the field and inflict the rest of the burn damage to your opponent. I've done that, and it's very good. Next we have Crimson Blader. He's here mainly for Cosmos and occasionally a Pendulum deck that lets us special summon out level 7 monsters. You kill something with him, and you kind of lock out Cosmos for a turn, and it's useful. And he also has the nice 2800 attack, so he's a pretty good monster to have. We have 2 Barreto. This card is so amazing in this deck. Number 1, he allows you, when you are in the middle of a combo, he allows you to draw 1 to 2 cards just off his effect of when a card monster changes position, he draws a card. And a Strategist, when he comes out, you force a monster to change its position, so you can change Strategist, your opponent's monster if you need to. It's really, really derpy, and I love that. Then we run 1 Stardust Dragon because when I'm OTKing, I don't want to get hit with any retarded back row, and then next turn, I don't want to get killed immediately by Regeki. So we have Stardust Dragon, and Stardust Dragon is amazing. Then we have Fat Dragon, or Galaxy Full Pokemon Dragon, if you want to call it that. Basically, you detach a material and then pop a face-up card on the field. He's really good. Also, the 4,000 beat stick, and I usually make him with Galaxy Tachyon Dragon because Tachyon Dragon, number one, he is really good. He's really useful, but I rarely use his effects. Ironically, then we have Galaxy Prime Dragon, the one-man wrecking crew. This guy is here for your for your basic OTK combo. I wouldn't call it your main because this deck has no main OTK combo. He's here for your bread and butter combo, I guess. Then we have Full Art Galaxy Tachyon Dragon. He's here as an easy out to Bills, as once you go to battle for his negate his effect, then overlay for this, and then pop Bills with his effect. Also, he's good against Cosmos, as he negates all the effects on the field, and then when they respawn, he gains 1,000 attack and can swing again. So that's really good. He's good for stacking up damage versus a Cosmo player. We have Felgran, because Felgran is an amazing rank 8 you can sit behind. He protects himself from all card effects, and he also can negate your opponent's card effects, your opponent's monster effects, which is really good. We have Zenmayo, my bad. We use him to pop the back row, make him with Soldier, Solar Windjammer, or Soldier, Instant Fusion, Solar Windjammer, Instant Fusion. He's easy to make, and also he has 2,600 attack, which is very nice. Then we play Pallades, and Pallades is here for when you're going for your OTK combo. If you need to bounce back a monster in the process, you can go and throw him down and bounce something back to the hand. Also, he's good to sit behind because as he stuns your opponent for a turn generally. So we have Pallades in here, who's very good. Then we have Fortune Tune Engineer. This is for when you have those weird hands when you actually do draw both your Karakuris. If you get one on the you can get both of them on the field, or get one with the Yuki, you can overlay for this. And when this thing gets destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can put them back into your deck to reuse them for your combo, because generally when you get both of them, you're not going to be going for the Karakuri combo, but he keeps it live in case you do draw both of them, so he's useful for that. Also, when you try to destroy him, he detaches the next one material and stays alive, and he gives you back 500 life points every turn, every standby phase, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, during your standby phase, you get 500 life points, which is useful because you are kind of burning stuff off with instant fusion. And then for the side deck, all right, let me tell you the matchup for this deck. This deck runs over any Pendulum deck that's not heavy on back row, which is most of them, as this deck can set up an OTK faster than they can set up an OTKU for the most part. The rough matchups for this deck is probably, I would have to say, we go about 50-50 with Fluffles, because it's a race for the OTK. Whoever gets the OTK first wins, and we can both OTK each other equally as hard. But I'll kind of give the advantage to this deck just because we have the ability to drop so much stuff on board. We can put out just as much damage as Fluffles can generally. And in my experience, I've overpowered Fluffle players before they can KO me. Then we have the matchup versus Cosmos, which is actually pretty good for this deck. We have a decent Cosmo matchup. As well, it's actually 50-50 as well, because Cosmos, if they get their OTK combo first turn, and you don't have anything you need to really go in yet, you need to set up, you're in danger there. But if you get your combos, which usually you will have a combo, or at least a play to have in your hand that won't be OTK, you can stop Cosmos. And also, this card is the Cosmo Wrecker. He's really useful for that. And oh yeah, Shinman Blader as well helps stun Cosmos. Another meta deck. Magiceptors, haven't really faced many Magiceptors decks, but they kind of just get ran through, even with all their back row. Triple MST plus Denko Sekka, and also for a lot of OTK combos, we don't need our normal summon, which is crazy. So we can bust out Denko Sekka turn first thing we do, so you can't back row us to death, or we just pop it all with MST and Zenmayo. And even then, even if you blow something up mid through our combo, we'll still probably have a chance of OTKing you. So Magiceptors isn't too bad of a matchup, and also we don't rely on destruction and targeting for the most part. And what's another meta deck that is a matchup? Psyframes, they are not that bad of a matchup. They're tough sometimes, but if you can bust out a Star Eater versus Psyframes, you're in great shape, because Star Eater, you can't do nothing when you summon him, and he swings and is unaffected by everything. So Star Eater is really good for taking out Psyframes. And also, because they're such a bad matchup, I do side deck the Mind Drain, as he stops all the hand traps, which is really useful. And now for the side deck, we run triple Max C for one of these special summon heavy decks to draw into our combo pieces. If you activate Max C and draw 2 cards, you basically win the game, because generally you'll have all the combo pieces you need. Next we have 2 Fairy Wind for destroying Pendulum Scales, as well as helps against the new Monarchs, that everything they have is a continuous face-up card, and Fairy Wind just blows all that up. And inflicts burn damage, which is nice. You might be able to burn free game with it. Then we have Masker Restrict, once again more Monarch hate. Then we have 3 Royal Decree, because this deck hates back row, and if we're going against the Telenats, you'll side this in, flip it, they lose basically, because you can just go off in them, and their monsters are way too weak to get anywhere near yourself. Like Felgran alone absolutely rapes Satellar Knights. Then I already said we have played the triple Mind Drain for stopping side frames, as well as any other deck playing heavy hand traps such as Light Swarms if they want to run like 3 Effect Failures and 3 Yukia Saga. Shout out to Asian Eyes. And we run 2 Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. This was here generally for the Burning Abyss matchup, which was a tough matchup, but they kind of fallen off. And because Pallade bounces stuff back to the hand, we can kind of go through Burning Abyss a little bit easier now. And worst case scenario, we can actually just slide this in too and just shut them down. Oh yeah, I wanted to say Gyarados. Gyarados, they are also, that is a weird matchup to play. It's not really a bad matchup, you just have to know how to play it. Well, Gyarados basically don't do anything versus Gyarados until they summon. Once they get the Gyarados dragon out and they clear the field of the Gyarados, just go for any OTK combo that gets rid of the dragon. So you can make Fat Dragon and destroy it. You can make Pallades and bounce it back to hand and just OTK them. That's how I beat them from like, I've only lost to Gyarados once and I beat them like 5 times. That's the best way to get rid of them. And I'm playing Kai Gyarados, so with the Kaiju and everything. And that's it for the deck profile, so let's get into some duels. Okay, now the first replay we have here is against the poor soul who thought it was a good idea to set 1 card and pass. That is, man, I had a field day. This is a basic OTK. This is our bread and butter combo. And if you're wondering why I have to do the replay like this, it's because DevPro's replay is being stupid. So I actually had to go out and record live. This is why I have to do it like this for the time being. But anyways, my hand, I have 2 soldiers and a dragon, then an MSC and a Regeki, and an Upstart Goblin. I'm like, okay, I can OTK with this hand. All I need is to draw a light monster. And long and behold, Upstart Goblin grabs the light monster. And also, on top of that, Upstart Goblin doesn't even get in the way of this basic OTK combo. Now, this combo is generally 3 cards. You can do it with Galaxy Soldier, Dragon, then Solar Wind Jammer or Instant Fusion. Those are the main cards you can use for this combo. So, you want to do a Special Summon Soldier, kick the Dragon, grab the Knight from your deck, and then after you get the Knight, you normal summon him and activate the Knight's effect to go ahead and grab your dragon back from the graveyard that you just sent there with this soldier. And after I grab my dragon, I go ahead and activate my other soldier's effect to kick out the Cloud Dragon, special summon him. And then I go ahead and I make, well, first you want to make your rank 5 first, because you'd rather have that get hit with back row than your big monster. So for this case, I just make Pallades for the sake of having Pallades in case he has Battle Fade or something stupid like that. So I can kind of stun him next turn if he survives this turn for whatever reason. So I drop a Pallades. And after dropping Pallades, I go ahead and I bust out the big Mother Fudger, the best card for OTKing with this deck. This card is a guy at OTKing just because he doesn't care about your Kalut. He doesn't care about your Battle Box or counter card. He doesn't care about Honest. He will go through everything to OTK you just because his effect happens at the end of the damage step. So first, I sling the Pallades once again because you want to activate any back row on your rank 5 first, because he's the least important card. Your main card is the big rank 8. He's the one who's going to be doing all the damage for you, and you'll see why. So Pallades goes ahead, does 2,500, and then now go ahead and swing with the rank 8. If I stop being retarded, there we go. Swing with the rank 8. Now I make a mistake of almost activating Pallades' effect like a retard, but I come to my senses eventually, and I don't do it. And I activate my Prime Photon Dragon effect and detach. Make sure you detach the Knight. You do not want to detach the Dragon, because you'll lose half your damage. So I detach Knight, buff my attack to 6,600, and I OTK. Here we have the most satisfying replay of all. Goodness gracious. This is me versus some Pendulum Magician deck. I believe it's Pepe. I'm not really sure. I actually doubt it's Pepe. It's just a Pendulum Magician deck. You know, the tier 0 deck. This is me versus them. So I look at my hand. Not really a bad hand. I have Expedition. I have the XL Light, so I can search out I get a free search right now. And he sets 3 back row. So first I don't know what he's playing against, and I'm kind of scared because I hate back row with this deck. The less back row, the better. That's why I play so much back row hate, like 3 Mystical Space Life Films, and I actually happen to draw one. So I go ahead, blind MST. My sniping skills are on point, and I quick scope that Solemn Warning. So I'll go ahead and activate my Excel Light. This actually ain't some pretty smart plays. So like when I drop my Wizard, he decides to go ahead and stun me for a turn and stun me for activating Wizard's effect. He goes ahead and compulses my Wizard back to my hand. And that's my normal summon right there. So I really can't do much this turn because I don't have like any combo pieces in my hand that are retardedly useful. I mean, next turn I can make a rank 8 with Wizard and Expedition if I really wanted to. But for this current turn, I couldn't do anything with that compulse stopping my search. So he goes ahead and activates his Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, and he's going to go ahead and end turn right there and go for another search card. So I'm glad he didn't set any more back row, which is what I wanted, because I want to keep his back row clear. So he decides to go ahead, and he's going to search with that. Now, saying that I'm playing against Pepe, who I know a lot of you guys out there hate this deck, and I'm one of the haters. I do not like this deck. I think Pendulum Mechanic is stupid, but it's a part of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'll just live with it. So I want to punish this guy to the max for what he did. And I'm going to show you the Super Saiyan God combo of this deck. So because he didn't do anything, I'm like, okay, I have another turn to actually search and really make sure I punish this guy for using that Compulse earlier. So I go ahead, activate my next Excel Light, and go ahead and add my Galaxy Soldier to my hand. And now this hand is OTK City, basically. But I told you, like I said, I'm waiting. I'm not going to do anything quite yet. I want to make sure this guy feels the full force of Galaxies. And I do just that. So I'll go ahead. He activates his Magic Scepter Unicorn and then Sky Isis. I don't really know how pendulums work. I'm just going to let him do his thing. He'll let his turn play out. He can go ahead and do what he needs to. He's going to activate the Sky Iris effect. Destroys that nasty unicorn. That thing is really, really good. It's like a freaking pulse. You destroy a pendulum monster, I think, or you bounce a pendulum monster and then you bounce an opponent's monster. You can do it during your opponent's turn. That's really good. But he decided to activate Sky Iris and get another search off for an Odd Eyes, so he can use the Odd Eyes at the end phase to search again. Now, here I'm getting a little cocky. You guys can't see it because of the way I'm recording. But I go ahead and call GG right now. Like, this guy, he has nothing on me. He can't, like, that one back row, it better be something good. So I go ahead, and I top deck the Emergency Teleport. So I'm like, okay, now this hand is just broken. This is like one of the best combos I've ever pulled off with this deck. I'm pretty sure there are more you can do, but this is probably one of the best combos. So I immediately, before I do anything, I special summon my Solar Wind Jammer out. So bam, he's on the field. Then, like I did with the last two videos, activate Soldier, send the dragon to the graveyard, then use Soldier's effect to search. Now because I already have Knight and Wizard in my hand, I decided to go ahead and activate Soldier's effect, and I search for another Soldier if I'm not mistaken. So I go ahead, I look into my deck, pull that second Soldier out, get him to my hand. And I'm just like, oh, I hope that back row's good, bro, because you're about to get absolutely pounded. Even with that Upstart Goblin, I'm going to just wreck you. So I go ahead, I throw out my Galaxy Expedition, slap down my other dragon in Defense Edition, and then I'm going to go ahead and... This is the beginning of this combo follows the last plays of the last video, but I get to go all the way through because this back row happens to be absolute crap. I believe it's a Wavering Eyes he has set down, so it doesn't even bother me. So I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to go all the way in. So I go ahead... I make a Burrito first. I mean, use the card carry's effect to switch my dragon's position to attack, so I can get a free 3,000 damage in for my expedition. So I'll go ahead and grab the card carry monster. Go ahead and play Twister with this dragon, put him to attack position. Then I'm gonna go ahead. I'm looking at my hand, trying to decide what to do next. I say, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead, make my second Burrito. Also, mind you, so far I have a dragon and two singles on the field, and I haven't even normal summoned yet. I have not used my normal summon, so that's still to come. So I'm looking at my hand. I'm trying to play it to get the most damage off right now because I really want to wreck this guy because I hate pendulums that much. So I go ahead, I drop the Strategist. And now this is the cool thing about Karakuri's. Because I have two Burritos on the field and Strategist effect activates to change his position, I get to draw two cards mid-combo. And I happen to pull the MST and the Regeki, so this combo is like going to OTK you like with no restraint. So I'm looking at my hand like, okay, I'm just like, the game loves me now. So I go ahead, I MSG hit the back row just in case it's something stupid, like a Mirror Force. Even then, I probably would have made Stardust. But it just happens to be Wavering Eyes. So I'm like, oh, okay, well, that wouldn't have stopped me anyway. And now you're wide open. I already have OTK damage on board, I believe. But no, I go all the way in. You know how we do. So I go ahead, I Synchro the Karakuri and the middle Burrito and drop a Star Eater on board. And now I'm going to go ahead and normal summon out my Galaxy Knight, finally using my normal summon. Come on, normal summon him without tribute, be smart. So I finally use my normal summon, activate his effect, and I grab the dragon from my graveyard that I sent with the soldier earlier. And I go ahead and take these two monsters, and I make the Prime Photon Dragon, the OTK monster. Now, after that, I could have made another rank 8 with the Burrito and my dragon, but I decided to leave it on for just maximum damage, and it looks pretty on my field. And after this, his old boys is looking like, what the freak just happened? So I go ahead and swing with my dragon, do 3,000. Then he just forfeits right there. But yeah, that's what this deck can do with a lot of combo potential. And this isn't really that uncommon. It's really possible to drop stupid fills like this constantly with this deck. It's really consistent, surprisingly. But anyways, that is it. Survivor 2 is signing out with this long dick style OTK.